Yo, what's good, my friends? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Kojak. I'm from Germany. I'm a rapper, by the way. I got some own music on my channel, but the most I'm doing is actually reactions on certain most of them on music. But on this one I got a couple of recommendations. I can show you the comments. There are just two comments. There are way more now, but just these two comments to why does Bengali sound so sweet. And I was saying that in one reaction on Coke Studio Bangla, the language is very beautiful. I guess that's why it was recommended. We want to take a look at this video. It's 11 minutes and about the Bengali language, Bangladesh and Western, some part of India as well. There it is spoken as well. I know that. I was thinking French is a very beautiful language. We're very familiar with that in Europe. Like I said, I'm living in Germany. Like French, we hear more often than Bengali. When I was jumping into these Bangladeshi reactions, I heard Bengali and yeah, man. So we're going on the language. Let's see, man. Oh, she's playing guitar. I didn't see that actually.
I don't speak Bengali.
I mean, that already sounded beautiful, man. I have to be honest.
I don't speak Bengali, and probably you don't as well. But
Sure.
if you're anything like me, you probably also feel that the language is really sweet. It's like it does not have any sharp edges, and it melts right away in your ears.
Oh, I said something like this. I said in the reaction, it doesn't have edges, and I was pretty sure that you don't say it like that, but he says actually the same. That's cool.
It's like it does not have any sharp edges, and it melts right away in your ears. Well, the question has been on my mind for ages, and it's time to answer it. Why does Bengali sound so sweet?
Yeah, man. Why?
I know what you're thinking. No guys, the answer isn't Rasgulla. Besides, it's Roshogolla. What are you even saying?
What? Rasgulla? What is he talking about, man? Rasgulla? I don't know what it means,
The
man.
answer isn't Rasgulla. Besides, it's Roshogolla. What are you even saying? Bangla or Bengali is a fairly young language that has evolved from Magadhi Prakrit in the 10th century AD. It is the 6th most spoken language in the world and 2nd most spoken language in India. But there isn't just one type of Bengali. Bengali's dialects have spread all over Bengal and Bangladesh, and they actually sound really different from each other.
Oh, okay.
Take for example Sylheti Bangla spoken in Bangladesh and Kolkata Bangla called the Standard Bangla.
55,99 €.
Hold on, what is this? I don't believe it, man. There's an ad.
Kolkata Bangla called the Standard Bangla.
শুদ্ধ ভাষা ভার্সেস সিলেটি ভাষা কেমন আছো
ভালো আছো
কি করো
কি তা করো
আমি তোমাকে ভালোবাসি
আমি তোমারে ভালো পাই
এদিকে আসো
সবাই দিও
So there were the two different dialects? Alright, yeah, I mean that sounds completely different.
Also notice how Kolkata Bangla differs from Chittagonian Bangla.
শুদ্ধ বাংলা হচ্ছে আমি তোমাকে ভালোবাসি। চট্টগ্রামের ভাষায়
হাতে তোমার বেশি গম লাগে।
তুমি কোথায় যাচ্ছ? চট্টগ্রামের ভাষায়
That almost sounds like Korean, man. Okay.
তুমি হন্ডে যার।
Notice how Chittagonian and Sylheti seem to have a bit of Sino-Tibetan influence in them. Because the video is directed towards India, the discussion would be limited to the Standard Bengali, or the variant of Bengali that's spoken in the Nadia district in West Bengal. So with that context, let's come back to the initial question. Why is Bengali so sweet? In our last video, we talked about the retroflex rla and we saw how Bengali does not have the sound or even the letter. But rla is not the only retroflex. There are other retroflexes as well.
Retroflex? What is a retroflex, man? Like the retroflex is when your tongue is bent to behind? I mean, okay, that I've never heard of that, okay?
For example, the retroflex rna, rda and rdha. Bengali has letters to denote these sounds, but guess what? Just like R, Bengalis never use these sounds. They pronounce these letters exactly like the softer N, R and R.
Okay. How is it meant? Like they don't use these letters. When they speak, like they use it when they write, but not when they speak.
Listen to the song played in the beginning. Notice how the first line, Preme Pora Baron, actually uses the letters D and N, but they are never pronounced using their original sounds. To give another example, here's a popular song adapted in Bollywood. Notice how the lyrics read Bodo Loker Beti, but it is pronounced as Boro Loker Beti. Retroflex sounds lend an element of crispness to languages, and by avoiding these, Bengali words become easier to pronounce and they are free flowing.
Oh, okay. So they actually, because it's easier to pronounce them, they don't use, like when they speak, they're okay. I'm getting the point. They might be for rapping interesting, because they would mean you can rap faster because you don't use like consonants that are harder to pronounce, right? That's interesting.
Bangla also vastly simplifies its sounds. Take for example the three S sounds, as in S, Sh and Sh in Hindi. Bengali has the corresponding letters, but they are all pronounced the same, Sh. There are few exceptions here and there, but largely Sh dominates over S. Take for example the word Sanatan in Hindi. Now in the word, the first S is used. And when you write the word in Bengali, you also use the word sa, but the pronunciation of the word happens to be Shonaton.
Okay.
Sanatan.
Shonaton.
Linguists suggest that the sh sound is perceived to be softer than the sa sound.
Yeah, of course. There are of course consonants that are soft and hard. Yeah, of course. Like if you say like s, it's softer. No, it's harder actually than sh, right? Like sh. We have in Germany we have a lot of s sounds like sh and s. What else do we have? Like we have these with st and sp. And most of them, we have very hard consonants in German language, like really hard. It makes it to rap fast really difficult as well, you know.
And that is another reason why Bengali words sound so soft. Another interesting thing to note is that the Bengali script came much later after the language. The script evolved from the Siddham script, which was greatly influenced by sounds that were used to denote Sanskrit. But the issue was that many of these concepts in the script, like Badi U, Choti U, they were never really part of Bengali. Therefore, even if the language uses these vowels, in practical Bengali, there is absolutely no difference between Badi U, Choti U, Badi E or Choti E. Take for example the pronunciation of Deen and Din. Now the translation into Bengali, the words are pronounced exactly the same. Deen and Deen.
Din, Din. Din, Din.
So you don't see then. So you okay, but that's hard to say now because in the vowels are pronounced different in Germany than in English. Like Dean we would write in Germany with an I, you know, and then with an E, Yeah, okay.
Bangla has another interesting property where it likes to simplify its consonant cluster.
I like that meme, man. That's cool, man. No two consonants. And we have words in Germany where there are 4 consonants in a row. Say Wurst or Stumpf. I don't know, and there are really weird words. Like in English it would be wrist, but that's actually you don't speak like the W and the T and the N.
A consonant that is attached to the sound ma, for example, is pronounced as the letter itself. Take for example the word Lakshmi in Hindi. This word is pronounced as Lokhi in Bangla.
Okay. I was just thinking. I mean, that looked weird in her nose. Is this a traditional thing? Did you know?
Also take the example of Bhishma in Hindi. This is pronounced as Bhisho.
লোকে সর্বদা তোমায় পূজো করবে আর তোমায় ভীষ্ম নামে সম্বোধিত করবে।
Also the sound ksha is simplified to kya. This
Yeah, that sounds softer as well. Kya, like z, is softer than sh. Even that.
property is not just unique to Bengali but also Odias do it. Notice how this Bangladeshi news reporter, for example, pronounces the name of the actor.
Welcome to New York. My question is Deepika and Akshay both.
So instead of saying Akshay, he says Okkhoy. As you see, Bengali tends to keep this consonant-vowel structure and really does not like this consonant-consonant pair.
That's in Japanese as well, right? You barely have in Japanese, we have this consonant-vowel thing in Japanese as well, right?
And therefore, the sounds sound softer because of the vowel present. Disclaimer alert, which means the most fun part of the video is here, so pay attention. One of these two shapes is called Kiki and another one is Boba. Can you take 5 seconds to figure out which one is Kiki and which...
Yeah, the left one is Kiki, the right one is Boba. Is it on the screen, right? Yeah. Like with the sharpness, it's Kiki because it sounds sharp.
Which one is Boba? Well, if you guess that the second one is Boba and the first one is Kiki, you are correct. Linguists have found that we associate the O sound, like in Boba, to be soft and rounded.
The O? No, the consonants.
While
Alright.
the E sound is harsh and spiky, which is why we associated Boba with something circular and Kiki to be something sharp.
Okay.
And as some of you might have guessed, that brings us to the point why Bengali sounds so sweet. Consider these pair of Hindi Sanskrit words. Ram, Rama.
I'm just laughing because that's a brand. Rama is a brand in Germany, man. I mean, okay.
Rachna, Rachana. Ved, Veda.
What does Rama mean? Maybe they took the name from your language, you know? That might be possible.
Notice how Sanskrit adds an A sound to the end of each letter.
Oh, okay.
While Hindi does not. Almost like there is a halant on the end of each letter. The A sound that Sanskrit adds is called Shwa. And this isn't just unique to Sanskrit. Several languages have Shwa in them.
So they end on the vowels. The words end on the vowels. That makes okay. So they don't have a hard ending on the words.
Nepali, for example, would call this word Usako and not Usko. Odia calls this word Ghora, while a Hindi person would call it Ghar. Bengali similarly has Shwa in it, but interestingly, it's not A, it's O. Therefore, the Hindi word Vasant, which in Sanskrit would be Vasanta, in Bengali becomes Boshanto.
We get in why this with the O and I was important, right? So the O sounds like the roundest vowel. Okay, that was something I was not thinking about. Okay, that's interesting.
Similarly, this word in Hindi is Path, in Sanskrit is Patha, and in Bengali becomes Potho. Ant, Anta, Onto. And therefore, this isn't Vivekanand, it is... No, not even that. It's Bibekanando. And therefore, because the Shwa is present in every word of Bengali, the O sound is abundant. And to connect it to the...
Abundant? Abundant or abundant? Are they two words? Okay, let's re-listen, man, what he actually said.
And therefore, because the Shwa is present in every word of Bengali, the O sound is abundant. And to connect it to the experiment in the very beginning, we saw how rounded sounds are associated to be more softer. That may be one reason why Bengali, in general, is perceived to be soft. Well, to conclude this video, let me leave you with some cultural trivia. Do you know that from the 18th century to the early 20th century, there was a cultural revolution in Bengal called the Bengal Renaissance? This revolution questioned the existing customs and rituals of the Indian society of that time, from the caste system to the dowry system and to the practice of sati.
Was it when Bangladesh was still part of India, what he's talking about now? This is my knowledge. Bangladesh and Pakistan split from India, but I don't know when that actually happened.
All of these customs were questioned. Bengal was seeing this cultural progress in all its fields: science, religion, arts and literature. There was this hero in particular who I want to talk about, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar. Among many other things, he was a Sanskrit scholar and a polyglot. At that time, Bengali was considered to be an inferior form of Sanskrit. It didn't have an identity of its own. Vidyasagar ji was the one who formalized the script to 12 vowels and 40 consonants and removed the letters that were redundant, like Dirghori and Dirgholi at that point. He made all efforts to make the language of the masses and of the commons. It was this literary revolution that was triggered by the likes of Rabindranath Tagore and Vidyasagar that Bengali became a language that people loved and celebrated.
So why was he like, why could he decide about the language? Just one person who removed like letters from the alphabet? I mean, in Germany we are discussing, like, there's a big forum for people discussing on what language, how the language changes. Just thinking about gendering. All right.
Well guys, truth be told, I feel I have made a good case, but I'll admit
maybe I didn't catch it. Maybe it was not just him. Maybe I just didn't get the point on that one.
Sweetness is a subjective term. All the examples I gave here are based on certain assumptions about what makes sounds sweet. For example, some people find German harsh.
Yes, that's what I was talking about. Now, there's a reason to it. Now we're going on French, man. That's interesting. All right.
Makes sounds sweet. For example, some people find German harsh.
Avion.
Aeroplane.
Aero.
Avion.
Flugzeug!
But some might find
Hey, that's hilarious, man. How he says it, man. Hey, this actually, okay, he's exaggerating, man. But it is too funny, man.
Aero.
Super.
Avion.
Flugzeug!
but some might find it beautiful.
Flugzeug.
It depends on many other factors.
Hey, this is too cute, man. A Flugzeug. What a word, man. Aeroplane.
Like how you enunciate the language, what is your education level, what is your background, and even your gender. Linguistics isn't a hard science like maths. It requires an amount of subjectivity, and that isn't a bad thing. So I don't want you to take away from this video that Bengali is the sweetest language. Bengali is sweet on its own terms, but other languages can be just as sweet or even more.
Hey, spreading love in the end, man. Thank you very much. But we know our language is harsh, man. No cap. We know we can't be honest on this one, man. Hey. All right.
But other languages can be just as sweet or even more. I only hope that you got to learn about this beautiful language and think about how similar or different it is from your language. তাই বন্ধুরা, থ্যাংক ইউ সো মাচ ফর ওয়াচিং দিস ভিডিও। আপনাদের যদি ও ভিডিও ভালো লাগে থাকে তাহলে শেয়ার করো, লাইক করো আর সাবস্ক্রাইব করো। Lots of love and আবার দেখা হবে।
Hey, I love the outro, man. He says everything. That was probably Bengali because he said in the beginning he's not from Bangladesh. But that seemed to me to be Bengali, and he just said subscribe, and we know what he's talking about, man. It was clever made, man.
Lots of love and আবার দেখা হবে in the next video.
All right. Hey, man. Very interesting facts about the language. There was very almost scientific, man. Like about like how the language works, how it was historical, like how the language became like it. yeah, why certain vowels sound softer, why certain consonants sound softer, not using two consonants in a row, adding a vowel to the end of the word, mostly an O, because it's even softer. Yeah, very interesting facts, man. Okay, Bengali. We got the language wrapped up, man, but that was just a small part, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that was just a small part, man. We're just on the beginning of this. I told you I'm a rapper. I told you I'm a German rapper. So I'm rapping in German, and right here on screen you can find a music video of myself rapped in German with English subtitles. So if you're interested, you can check it out. That's my other content on the channel. Right above you can find a reaction on music from Bangladesh. Probably it's rap. You can check it out as well if you're interested, and I wish you the very best. Stay healthy, stay well, and farewell.